Do you also sometimes feel like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Do you sometimes feel anxious or very, very exhausted about just thinking about your job? Trust me, I've been there. And your life is way too valuable to just waste it in the wrong career. So today I will show you 11 signs why your job you're in it right now might not be quite the right fit for you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell button to be notified each week when I post a new video on how you can create the life you desire. I have helped already so many people to find their passion and actually make money with that, make it to their job. And today I'm very, very excited to share these with you and to bring more lightness and more joy into your life. Okay, let's just dive right into it. Sign number 1. Do you use your strengths? So over the past, you've accumulated so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so many skills. And within your current role, are you using them? Do you use them or not? So your skill set is there to provide you with all the confidence you need to be better, to have that drive, that hunger for new, and the hunger for creating something new and be there and do a good job and feel good about that. So do you use any of your skills? Do you work with your strengths and towards your strengths? So maybe don't throw the towel down, not quite yet. If not, maybe do an inventory and see what you can do. What strengths could you bring into your role? What skill sets can you bring in? And work with your managers, work with the position and see if there is a way. And if not, it's fine. Look somewhere else. Look, but with that in mind. Okay, sign number 2. Do you feel very overwhelmed? Or do you feel very bored in your job? So when you feel very overwhelmed, you can sense that in your body. You feel very tight just thinking about work. You feel very anxious. You feel very stressed. You can feel your heart. You can feel your chest. You feel sweat whatsoever. Or where you feel like you keep dropping balls. You keep thinking you do something wrong because you can't fully concentrate, because you feel so stressed and anxious and just not natural in that job. Or you on the other side, you feel really extremely bored. You're fighting boredom. You are becoming that robot who does every single thing again and again, and you feel becoming that mechanical thing and there is no challenge anymore. So when you feel very bored and like kind of you feel kind of that mechanical thing, maybe think about getting something on your plate. Find a challenge, whatever it is. You can either ask for a more workflow or a different type of workflow, or you can set up your own challenges. Everything is possible. Have a think. And if you're fighting boredom so much, maybe it's time to move on. And you feel very, very stressed and you feel very anxious and my God, I can't handle that anymore. Again, think, what can you change? Is there anything you can change? And if not, move on. Okay, and sign number 3. Do you know your values and do you work with them? Do you sometimes feel like, oh my God, I'm complaining so much more than I used to be. I'm not the happy, jolly person that I used to be. I don't have that sense of pride that I used to have. Are you working with your values? Who are you? Your values, they make you. What you believe in, what you're standing for. And if those 8+ hours a day don't align with your values, you're bending yourself to fill some sort of a position, to blend in, to fit in a mold, which might not be you. So you might seriously then consider, like, okay, so if that doesn't quite work, well, then maybe you can move on. For a simple example, I'm a vegan. I would never work in a butcher factory because I know if I would be in that position, I would bend myself extreme. And I know that's an extreme example, but there are also little things where you feel like when you might be in your job where you feel like, oh my God, I would have never done that. You can't do that. Then maybe figure out, okay, what would you have then done? And what value represents that? What do you believe around that? And if that's something which can't be changed in your role, again, might consider to move on with the knowledge of what your values are, and then you're moving towards something that align with exactly those. Sign number 4. Can you be yourself in your job? So there are so many jobs out there, so many ways of working, and there are so many people out there with different characters. And now it's the question, do you work with your natural thought process? Do you work within your natural habit? So with thought process, I mean, when you are a very creative person and you like to have that, and you can't read a recipe, right? If you like to have that freedom, that open thinking, doing research can be very tough. Or working then in a Michelin restaurant where you have your rules and you need to stick to them can again be very, very tough. But if you're a person who likes those rules, who embraces them and really, really enjoys them, then being in a creative setting where you have to think out of the box can be challenging, but doing that constantly without never being in your comfort zone ever might be a challenge too much. Or, for example, are you working with your natural rhythm? So there are high-paced jobs out there and there are really low-paced jobs out there, right? So if you're a person who likes to think and have the time and a bit of that quiet moment to just pull everything together, then a high-speed job is not right for you. And vice versa. If you need that constant move, that jumping, then a low-paced job, again, is not right for you. So it all comes down to that. Can you be yourself in your job? Can you utilize all your strength, or at least some of your strength, in your job? And do you know the work you're doing? And do you understand the impact of your work within the company context, within the wider context? Do you understand why are you doing your work for? Yeah? So it's either find your voice within your role or find a new job. Okay, check in with your exchange rate. What do I mean with that? So basically, you are signing up for a job, and within that contract you're saying, I'm spending X amount of hours, X amount of days within my role, and in exchange for my time, for my energy, for my passion, I'm gaining money? Okay, what else? Okay, so do that calculation, understand, do you gain any skills out of it? Does that do good for your CV? Or do you feel pleasure? Do you feel enjoyment? Do you feel gratitude? Whatever, like do your calculation, understand what do you get out of it, and then see, right? Okay, I'm spending so much energy, so much money, maybe do it on a scale, and okay, that's what it is. What do I get out of it? At least it needs to be equal. At least. Ideally, maybe a bit more, that would be great. Okay? But if it's lower, if you're not gaining as much as you are giving, then you have a crappy deal. Okay? And then you are allowed to say, mate, like kind of, if I'm not getting anything more here, I'm moving on. And that's okay. Okay, does your job brings the worst out of you? I know when you're starting a new job, you might feel a bit uncomfortable whatsoever, and you feel like, okay, testing the water, that's fine. But if that continues over weeks, months, years, you feel uncomfortable, you feel never fully included, you feel those feelings become self-doubt, and you don't understand what you can do, and you don't really feel right there. Is that the right job for you? Check on also on your habits. Did you gain any new habits? Do you start drinking more? Did you start smoking? what's going on, yeah, and understand and see, okay, so if my surroundings, and that's not just your job, that's also your friends or people who are around you and what you do, if that doesn't support the best in you, but rather promotes all the, like, the worst in you, something you don't want to be, maybe have a look for a new job. Okay, sign number 6. You don't have any passion, any energy, any interest to go to work. It takes so much energy to go to work and to do your work if you don't have any interest in what you do whatsoever. So now that is very, very important now. So keep close, like keep a really, really close look into what is actually bothering you. Is it the task? Is a specific chunk of work you really, really don't like or don't have an interest in? Is it the whole sector maybe even you don't care about? Or are those the people you're working with? Sometimes it is literally just you're in the wrong bubble. Sometimes you're working with people who are not quite right for you, and that's fine. Yeah? What is it? What is it that does bother you? What is it that just not even bother you? What is it that you don't care? What is it that you really don't care at work? And pinpoint it, find it out, and change it. Sign number 7. Okay, sometimes you feel obligated to stay. Maybe you just got a promotion, or maybe you really, really like your colleagues, or maybe you really like your manager, or there's something that, or like your managers keep saying, oh my god, without you I could have not done anything, you're a great asset, and that makes you feel obligated to stay. It's like, oh my god, that company can't survive without me. And yes, that's a wonderful feeling. It feels nice to be needed, it feels nice to be appreciated. But if any of these above signs have been resonated with you, if you feel like you don't do what you love to do, you don't care, or you don't feel you work towards your strengths, and then you feel obligated to stay because someone else really needs you there, that essentially means if you stay, you will feel locked in. You feel you can't move, and that's what it is. And now it's the decision for you to make. Do you want to be within that position? Or would you like to be somewhere with a full conscious decision? Yes, I want to be there. No, I don't want to be there. And it is full on okay to quit. I know it feels sometimes very horrible and sometimes really wrong to quit, even though like kind of you might be a great asset for the company. But I've studied design, I worked in the design industry, and I felt I was a really, really big asset for the company, but it was not right for me. So for me, quitting was, for like at the end of the day, a big relief, because now I can find something which was more aligned with my values. So, question for you now. So you've listened now to a couple of signs, even if you feel like, oh my god, yeah, I can identify myself here somewhere within it, but I can't quit because. What is that because? And is that because strong enough and valid enough for you to stay? Or you are in the job out of fear. Maybe you know already that job you're doing, that role you're in, is not right for you. You probably know that deep down already. If you're listening, if you're watching that video for so long, you might be one of them, okay? So, but you might know already, but you might not change anything because there's a fear there. There's that being afraid of, well, what else is out there? Can I actually do that? You might have a passion, you have not studied that, or you don't have an experience, or you have a passion for, I really want to have my own business, and it's hard, right? Or it's easy, but there's that fear whatsoever that maybe you don't feel you can't deserve it, you're not the right person. Who are you to do that, right? So who are you to do that? You're an amazing person. And now it's the time to face the fear. Now it's the time to look yourself in the eyes and understand, that's what I want. Understand what you want and get it. It's the time now. You can do it. And you are not alone. Connect with your support system and find a support system. I know doing that big step, oh my God, there's so much anxiety. There's so much fear within it. I don't understand. I've been there. I'm still in it. Yeah? But what can help is split it up. Split it up in small chunks. Yeah? What I've done when I've realized, oh my God, I really need to quit my job. That is so against my values. It's not quite right for me. I decided, okay, I'll take a year. I'll take a year to understand who I am and what do I want to do. And I've moved from design into coaching. Okay? So that was not easy. And I've spent so much time just doing random courses and figuring out what I wanted to do. But just because of that, my job also got more fun because I knew that this is not the end game. I knew, okay, I'll do that. And with me knowing that I have a year of experience, I've experienced within my job what I wanted to do, what did I like, and I've realized how much I love working with clients and understanding them and getting them through hard times. Okay, so now why are you not moving on? You know your job is not right for you. What holds you back? And if that is fear, face it. And you feel it in your gut. You know from the beginning, in your gut, you can feel it. If that job, if that role is right for you or not. If your colleagues are right for you or not. If your friends are right for you or not. Okay? But there are so many reasons you go into a role. There's fear, there's pressure, there's sweet talk. I mean, hey, there are always positive things about any job. Okay? And of course, you then are in the job and you've maybe enjoyed it as well, right? But there's something in your gut which might always silently say, it's not quite right. Okay? Listen to it. Listen to it and listen to what it says and why it's not quite right. When I've quit my last job, my partner asked me, when did I know that that job is not right for me? Great question. I knew it from the beginning. From the beginning, I thought, what? You can't do that. Absolutely not right. Okay? And that kept going. It's like, no, what the hell? Like, what has happened? What? And that keeps coming. And those moments kept coming more until the point, okay, it's like, I'm done here. Okay? And that's okay. Be proud of that. I'm incredibly proud of that moment. Yeah? So you have to understand what your gut is telling you. Trust it in every situation. Your gut knows. All right. Knowing that your job is not quite right for you and taking action are two different things. Time goes so fast, it flies, and you might lose track of your goal you have. I can help you here. So sign up to the daily reminder 3 times a week. I'm going to email you a quick accountable question, something which holds you accountable, which helps you to stay on track, to not forget your goal, to keep going and just do that tiny step every day. So sign up and trust me, it helps. And if you haven't yet, sign up, give me a thumbs up, write me below in the comments. I really want to engage with you and I really want to know how all those signs, how you feel about your job and where are you at the moment and what are you doing now and how can I help you?